It is June the 21st, 2022, and my attorney sent me the incident report that the Takoma Park Police Department wrote up on the incident on April the 28th, 2022. And ladies and gentlemen, never trust the police. These individuals wrote up a fictitious incident report, and now they're going to get their hands handed to them in a federal court in a very large lawsuit. They tried to conspire with two individuals who, ladies and gentlemen of Takoma Park, your government was trying to give them $10 million to buy 6530 and 6600 New Hampshire Avenue so that they could build what the government wanted them to build. The paperwork is in. We have all the documents. You see, this is how corruption truly does work. And one thing about corruptive individuals, they will turn on each other when they get caught. July the 18th, in the District Court of Silver Spring, Maryland, in room 401, my so-called trial begins for trespassing on property I'm legally supposed to be on. These corrupt whores down at the Takoma Park Police Department, who wears the brass, orchestrated this fictitious arrest to try to run me out of Takoma Park, Maryland. It backfired. It has backfired. And if you don't think I have the documentation, you're about to find out when we get to Greenbelt. But it starts on July the 18th. These corrupt whores still have my vehicles sitting in a Gaithersburg abandoned facility and refuses to turn my vehicles over, my property back over to me, unless I pay a ransom for them. We have contacted the county executive for Montgomery County. We have contacted the chief of police of Montgomery County, who oversees this facility. And they all say, go back and talk to the rapists, which is these whores down in Takoma Park, Maryland. Their immunity is going out the door. Everything is recorded. Everything is documented. Upon being arrested, I filed a motion for a jury trial. The judicial system in Montgomery County says my sentence doesn't carry enough time for me to have a jury trial. Again, I ask all you brown nose and bootlickers, show me where that says that in the Constitution. Last I read, in the Maryland Constitution, it says I'm guaranteed if I request it. In the United States Constitution, it says in all criminal matters. It doesn't say how much time you're going to get. That determines if you get a jury trial or not. But this is what they decided up in Montgomery County to try to cover their asses on a lawsuit that is coming, which they allowed to happen because all they had to do was turn my vehicles back over to me. Now they have decided to conspire with Takoma Park and these two other whores along with the governor of this state. We contacted him. I guess he didn't want to get his hands dirty, so he didn't respond back. But this time, we're going to make a statement about the corruption in this state. And taxpayers, you're going to have to foot the bill. This is why immunity must go, and we must hold these individuals accountable for their own actions. In this incident report, the Takoma Park Police Department says the owner is the one who towed all these vehicles off the property. The owner is the one who requested that I be thrown off the property, even though we had a contract. The owner says he didn't do any of that. He didn't even call the police. That's what the owner said. And it's all written in his own handwriting. The leasee said he had no knowledge of this. As you saw in one of the videos, he knew I was back there. He didn't have a problem with it. He thought the owner, I'm the one that brokered the deal. I'm the one that handed him the keys. But for some reason, nobody knew I was back there. I find it very interesting that nobody knew I was back there for 3 years when I was getting paid by these individuals to oversee this property. The second thing is, out of all the customers that came to get their vehicles repaired, nobody seems to know I'm sitting back there in the back. Even though, again, I handed them the keys to the property. I had keys to the property. I see these individuals every other week. But I'm not supposed to be back there. Nobody knows I'm back there. Very interesting. It's going to be an interesting case. But this case isn't about a trespass. This case is about saving a government's ass from a big lawsuit. Now we're down to, if I produce ID, I can get my vehicles out. The law is very clear. I don't have to produce any ID, and my papers are secured. So what is it? You're trying to implement some new law? It is very clear what is going on. These individuals are systematically trying to take your rights away and dictate to you an administrative government, and the time has come to put a stop to it. My attorney has produced me with all the discovery and documents. Again, your town administrative, ladies and gentlemen of Takoma Park, was going to give a man who lives in Wisconsin $10 million in a grant. They had already authorized 5 from your town surplus budget. Yeah, the money that they're hiding in a surplus. They was going to give him 5 to buy 6530 and 6600 on New Hampshire Avenue, to buy them from the owners and to renovate it the way they wanted to renovate them. To a person that doesn't even live in your town, doesn't even live in the state of Maryland. A con artist. That's the gentleman who owns that tire company, who spray paints the tires out and fix the punctured holes in them, patches them, and then sells them for triple amount. That's who they were going to give $10 million of your tax dollars to. And just so happened, they got caught at it. Your city council, and if you don't believe me, taxpayers, it's real easy to find out. The young lady who is the city council for this ward, the gentleman who was running for the mayor's position, they know all about it. And since I'm the one that told them that the guy wasn't the owner, he had a problem, the owner had a problem, and it stopped them getting all this money. You taxpayers should be thanking me. But instead, your mayor and her terrorist organization didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. So we have to get him out of there so that this deal can go through. A con that is taking place on the taxpayers of Takoma Park. This is what they want to buy. This is what they want to change to subsidized housing on New Hampshire Avenue. And this is what your administrator does, is try to dictate what is being built in this little town. And they do it through extortion and intimidation. Now they've gotten caught. We have the grant, paperwork. We have the signing of the paperwork from Takoma Park. Let's see where this criminal activity goes to. Trespassing. Somewhere you're not supposed to be legally. I was legally supposed to be there. So let's see how this criminal case goes, because I'm going to have a jury trial if they go forward with it. I didn't request a one-judge trial. I requested a jury trial. And you're not going to step on my constitutional rights, where so many people have died for these rights for me to have. And nowhere, and I mean nowhere in this Constitution does it say for me to get a jury trial, the time is what determines that request for a jury trial. They say 90 days is too less for me to request a jury trial. Let's see it where that is written in the Constitution. It says every citizen is guaranteed a right to be judged by his peers in a jury trial. That's the Maryland's Constitution. The United States Constitution, in all criminal matters, a citizen has a right to be heard and judged by a jury of his peers. I have requested that. And the state and the little town in Montgomery County says, no. We are going to change the Constitution of the United States, and we're going to do it this way. Well, they have the right person now. So, Montgomery County, get my sale ready. Because I'm the wrong person. This is what needs to change, ladies and gentlemen. We need to hold these individuals accountable for their actions. You may not think it affects you right now, but it does. It truly does. This is just the beginning of more to come, of stepping on you individuals who make less than $100,000 or more. Make no mistake about that. Less than $100,000 or more, you're going to get stepped on. Stay tuned, because this will be an interesting trial, criminal and civil. You're going to see evidence by a corrupt entity we call a government.